Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace, healing, and light. And welcome back to another episode of Healing with Angelica's podcast, where we discuss all things healing. And if you are new to the show, welcome, beautiful souls. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest joining me today, inspired visionary, Sister Nayyirah Tavika. Is that right? Tavika Muhammad, as we will be discussing today's topic, mental healing Dianetics. Nayyirah, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. Happy to be here with you, my beautiful sister.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is a pleasure to have you. I'm so excited to be talking about this topic today. Now, before we get started on today's amazing topic, do you mind letting our audience know just a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. So, my name is Sister Nayyirah Muhammad. I am the wife of Brother David Muhammad. I'm a mother of five beautiful young adult children, eight grandchildren. I am the founder of the Repair of the Black Family Incorporation. I am a transformational life coach, international best-selling author, a retreat leader, and I could say a bunch more. But most importantly, I am your sister. And, I'm here showing up as, a person that just loves to struggle, right? So that's how I show up in the world.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love it. All praise be to Allah. Now, let's get started on today's topic, mental healing Dianetics. So, in the context of mental healing, I also included Dianetics. And the reason why I included Dianetics in mental healing is because of the phenomenal transformation this technology has when it comes to healing of mental illnesses. The word Dianetics is derived from the Greek dia, meaning through, and nous, mind or soul. Dianetics is further defined as what the soul is doing to the body. When the mind adversely affects the body, it is described as a psychosomatic condition. Psycho refers to mind or soul, and somatic refers to body. Those psychosomatic illnesses are physical illnesses caused by the soul. Dianetics is a spiritual healing technology that can help alleviate unwanted sensations and emotions, irrational fears, and psychosomatic illness caused or aggravated by mental stress. Now that brings me to my first question for you, Miss Beautiful Nayyirah. Do you mind giving us an insight on your journey to mental healing through Dianetics?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I want to say that I'm very grateful for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his love for us and his vision to see us, to be healed from the mental travels that we experience in life. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan back in 2010 introduced his laborers to this beautiful technology of Dianetics. And I was blessed to be one of the few, or should I say, the many that was introduced to this technology. And I recall when the minister introduced it to us, he asked us to help him with it.
Mm.
Now, by no means did I ever see myself being here where I'm at.
Mhm.
But what I do know is upon his asking us to do it, and we know anything that man asks for, it's like an instruction, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna preface it with an instruction, okay, though it wasn't asked. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked us to do it. I went in only really under obedience to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But as I went into learning this technology, as you so beautiful laid out, Dianetics helped me through a 10-year traumatic, traumatizing event that I was still stuck in, to the degree that I was stuck unaware.
Mm.
I had lost my father when I first joined the Nation of Islam. And from 2000 to 2010, you couldn't mention my dad's name without me crying.
Mm.
I couldn't recall what we call pleasure moments without me crying. There were times that I would be literally sick when his birth anniversary, which is about to come up, would come around, right? Or his passing date would come. I would be home in my bed as a student laborer and had to be nursed back up into present time by my husband because I was just that stuck in grief, but functioning. Come on now, catch that.
Yes.
Catch that. I was functioning, but I was stuck.
Mm.
And so when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan introduced this technology and I had my first therapy session, not only did I go, as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we got to get to the root cause of every problem, right? The root cause of ourselves, of things that happen with us, but it was connected to the passing of my brother that I lost when I was 4 years old. And I was
Wow.
there to witness him passing. Check this out. And I was there to witness my father passing. So I was stuck in these grief cycles, unaware. And so getting into the technology released me. One session.
Wow.
So how I got in is through the asking of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan instructions, but the relief that I experienced is the journey that kept me and that's still keeping me on the path.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, that is amazing. All praise be to Allah. You only needed one session.
One,
Wow.
look, one, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, all praise be to Allah. So, wow. So with you saying that basically unknowingly, I love how you brought up the fact that you were still functioning, but you just wasn't there. Like you were still functioning, but you just wasn't there because that whole of things that happened in the past.
Come on now.
Woo.
We call them Sister Angelica. We call them strongholds. I had some strongholds,
Yes.
some things that just, didn't let
Mm.
me go. And here we go. Check this out, Sister Angelica. I didn't let it go.
Oof.
You know the phrase let go and let God,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I was letting God, but I wasn't letting go.
Mm. Oh, and that's a struggle for us all. That's a struggle for us all. Just letting go and actually trusting him. And I think that's also that was a big step for you because you let go of that. And that's also was opening for you to trust God more, trust Allah more
Trust
in
him
his
more.
journey with you in Dianetics. So I love that. All praise be to Allah.
Well, one
So
of the scriptures that, if I may say
mhm.
this one part,
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
of the scriptures, Sister Angelica, that came to life for me in that process is Allah does not change a condition of a people until the people change their own condition. That's in Holy Quran, Surah 13. Oftentimes I found myself praying, but didn't realize the functioning of somewhat believing in a mystery God. Because I
Mm,
wanted Allah to do something for me that I was not able, or should I say, really willing or knowing how to do it for myself. Does that make sense?
yes.
Like, I'm praying that that this pain will go away. But let that birthday come up. I'm gonna pick it up, right? Let
Yes.
his passing day, let some no, because that was my emotional attachment to let that go, which really mean now that I really understand the depths of it, was to let my father go. And I wasn't willing to do that.
Mm,
I wasn't willing to allow that process of letting him go. That's what I thought. I was
yeah.
letting him go, but no, it's really letting go the pain.
Mm,
But the pain was attached to him. So I didn't know how to identify and differentiate. I can let go the pain and still have the beautiful process and loving memories of my father, and it was okay.
mm. Oh my God, that sounds so like liberating. Like, whew, a big release, big release. So let's talk about more about just how can you explain like the actual process of how Dianetic works? I know you said that after one session that like released you. So do you mind explaining like exactly the process of Dianetics?
Well, a person. First of all, I really encourage anyone to just read the book,
Mm,
because in all thine getting, get understanding. So
yes.
read the book. That's how it works, right? Read the book. But if you don't mind, I just need to take a drink of this.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. And if y'all don't know what the book is, I got it behind me.
Right.
Right here.
Read the book.
Yeah.
And one will, go into, like I said, a therapy session or a counseling session.
Hmm.
And you will sit with someone that is trained, Sister Angelica, to listen to you, right? A
Mm.
therapist, but we are called auditors. One who listens and computes, which was very different from somebody telling me what's wrong with me
Mm.
versus listening to me and let me express what I'm going through. But then as you sit with this person, they guide you through the aspects of what you're saying to help you to find the root cause of the problem or the pain.
Hmm.
So you sit with an auditor, a therapist that's going to guide you to solve your own problems, which
Mm.
is
Oh,
different
yeah.
from any other type of mental therapeutic uh, avenues of healing. Most times you find the therapist is diagnosing you or telling you how to think, how to feel. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually, you actually answered my next question. I wanted to uh, just get on the what makes Dianetics different from the conventional mental health treatments. And I feel the same way in regards to the conventional like therapy or counselors. It's like you'll go in there and you'll tell them all your problems, but you leave out. And I think of like them opening up your reactive mind, and then you leave out still with an open, like your reactive mind still open. Like, okay, so what do I do about it? Like, how do I even do it? What do I do about it? But um, I'm seeing with Dianetics, like we get to the root cause of the problem, and we're going to figure out a way to fix it. So I love that being the
Not just
difference.
figure it out, my beautiful
Hmm.
beloved sister. You're going to
Yes.
eradicate it, right? It has no more force or power over you. Once you handle that thing and you really get to the root cause, it's gone. There's no more emotional attachment, which means you have the memory, but the emotional attachment is alleviated, it's gone, it's eradicated.
Hmm.
And the one of the things that I enjoyed about learning about this technology, because it's tied to scripture, right? In the book of James, it says, a double minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's like in the first chapter. I learned through Dianetics, it identifies that double mindedness. You have your analytical mind, which we can reference that like your God consciousness, right? That right side of you. Then you have that reactive mind, which is made up of all types of trauma and travail, right? It's made up of painful emotional memories. It's made up of different personalities that you have experienced that is not even of your own self, right?
Hmm.
Those demon circuits. It's made up of so many different things. But when you go in and you handle that mind, you actually recover that God part of you, that energetic, that life force, the real you.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. And I think that is what really can aid someone in their healing, like being able to, and that goes to my next question, being able to actually address the past traumas, the past issues, because I believe that, you know, just during life we forget about those things, like, or we don't even take heed to it, or think that it has something to do with things you've been through in your past, like, especially when we are younger, or, you know, during our child state age, we forget the things that has happened to us. So why must one go back in time to address past traumas in order to heal?
Absolutely. Well, we can liken it to this. If a person has ever studied epigenetics, right? You hold memory at a cellular level.
Mm.
So not only do you hold your memory, but you got ancestral genes in you, your mother's memory, your grandmother's, you know, you got that genealogically line, excuse me, in you, like the memory of your cells.
Mm.
So a lot of things that we're doing, and especially as a people that have come through the transatlantic slave trade, we hold that pain, we hold that memory. So we're operating in present time, but you're not operating from the fullness of who you are. So we got to unlearn to relearn,
Mm.
right? We got to deprogram ourselves. So you're doing that by you going in when you handle that trauma the way that this spiritual technology, which is new on the planet, right? It's a new technology, it's an exact science. And you go in and you handle that pain, you are restructuring the DNA cells.
Mm.
You're making yourself up from a cellular level as a new being. So put in the new man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan once told me, and wear him as a garment. It's so important for us to go in and handle this pain so that we can be all that the God is making us up to be. You know, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, accept your own and be yourself. What is your own self? Your own self is a righteous Muslim. But there's things in us, sister, that has force and power that keeps us from being fully and complete that righteous Muslim.
Mm.
So every time you go in, like the minister called his auditors spiritual physicians, you go in and you doing that surgery on yourself. You're coming more up into present time to be your own righteous self. So
Ooh.
we don't react, we respond as gods.
Ooh. Now that was fire. Oh, all praise be to Allah. Oh my
Mm.
gosh, I love that, Sister Nayyirah. And if you all are enjoying this episode just as well as I am, please, please, please show your support by donating today to Cash App $ Healing with Angelica. I will also leave more information to donate on the screen below. I love you all. Now let's get back to today's amazing topic: mental healing Dianetics with Sister Nayyirah Muhammad. So that brings me to my next question for you. What makes Dianetics a spiritual healing practice to you? And do spiritual treatment have a better effect on human mind than conventional treatment?
Well, one of the things that I would say this is that the three components, we are a spirit, we have a mind, and we have a body. Dianetics addresses the mind and what the mind is doing to the spirit or the soul. So it makes it a spiritual healing because you are going to deal with yourself as a spiritual being.
Mm-hmm.
So you're eradicating the things that has happened to you as a spiritual being, beyond your mind, beyond your body, you as the God,
Mm-hmm.
a God. And so most conventional ways of dealing with the mind it doesn't lead you to handling you.
Mm. Ooh.
It's like this is my personal opinion, okay? My viewpoint. It's
Yes.
like putting a band-aid on a sore that every time you open up that band-aid, it's not healing.
Mm-mm.
The wounds are still there. I put a band-aid on it so you could temporarily be fixed. But I'm talking about with this technology, word is bond. This is my experience, right? By the way, I'm clear. So I know what I'm talking. I'm not just
Yes.
talking from reading a book. And I'm not just talking from having a one session or two sessions. I'm talking about one that has sat under the study, one that has gone through the process so I can come back and bear witness for us,
Mm-hmm.
right? You go in and you find the cancer, the things that's making you sick, and you get it out, and it doesn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it spiritual because we're getting to the root cause of what has taken us off the path
Mm.
of being full and complete as God's servants. And I'll
Yes.
say this, and then because I get passionate, Sister
Go
Angela.
ahead. Listen.
Let me be quiet, sister.
I
Okay.
have no problem,
Right.
girl.
And this is for the world, but let's just
Yes.
deal with us as Muslims. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said he ain't come to make a nation of followers. He came to make a nation of gods.
Mm. Better let them know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it different. See, we got to make, as the Supreme Wisdom says, unlimited progress and no limit of time. We got to be quicker in our movement, quick thinking, fast moving, cleanliness internally and externally,
Mm.
right down to the come on, modern time. Pick up that book and what does it say? Pick it up. No, look at the book. It says,
Okay.
look at the book. Look at the book.
The
Hold
modern
on.
science
Okay,
of mental health.
okay, modern. Okay, modern. So we get the modern technology to get the lions out the cage.
Mm.
Free yourself. Okay.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
sip some tea on that.
Okay. Yes. All praise be to Allah. This is like, oh Lord. I it's funny. I just talk a little bit about my experience real fast. Just um it was brought to me by brother Dr. Akili Muhammad when I went to him in regards to my thyroid issue after I having my son. And he told me about it, and I looked into it. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like, that sounds like a lot to do. Um, and it actually took me it took me 2 years before I actually went into it, because I prayed to Allah and I asked Allah. I was like, I want to get more deep into my healing. Like, I need to get deeper into it. And then all of a sudden, I got a call from one of the people from the OR say, hey, we haven't spoken to you, and just checking in. I'm like, well, I'm kind of glad you guys called, because I think I'm ready to do this. So just sharing just my experience just with my first auditing. At first, because I had those attention, and I called you crying and like acting crazy, like, why is all this happening? And the way my body felt, everything was just like, it was different. But you told me, you was like, listen, like, you went in there fighting you, sis. What you thought this was gonna be? That gave me so much confidence. Like, okay, you're right, because like that is, I believe, like that is our biggest enemy is ourselves. So when you're able to go in and attack the enemy of self, woo! I was like, oh my gosh, I love Dianetics, and I'm like so glad I met you, because I'm like being able to have a sister that knows the ins and out of it, and they can help me on my journey, because I believe that this technology will be so helpful to our people, because this is what we need. We can't keep being stuck in the past ways of trying to heal, or what they told us. We need the modern science of what to do and how to do it. So all praise be to Allah. I just love it so much, and I'm so grateful I got in contact with you, and we're talking about it now, because I believe that this is definitely something that everyone should definitely look into and do. Now, with the with like with me going into it, and it took me a while to really want to go get audited, because in my mind it was doubt of actually going back to experience the feeling of those traumas and pain. Like, what do you believe, even though that's my opinion and how I felt, do you believe, what do you believe stops people from going to get audited or using Dianetics?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. And may I just, I'm going to answer that question, but I just want
Yes.
to go back to something that you said as it relates to uh, the spiritual aspect. The
Mm-hmm.
Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that all of our problems are, all dis-ease comes from a spiritual transgression,
Mm.
right? So our diseases comes from the root cause is spiritual, and the mind does make the body sick. And I thought of that because you was talking about your thyroid.
Yeah.
That is connected to something. So going in and using the technology of Dianetics, we get to the opportunity to heal the body by getting rid of the things that is attached spiritually.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so coming up to your present time question, most people don't want to re-experience something that they've gone through because of the level of pain. And in addition, Dianetics puts us in a position to confront ourselves, face, be willing to experience, to go through it, but it makes us accountable to self, to be responsible, respond with ability. Responsibility, it raises our responsibility level up
Mm.
to be what God has called us to be. It's a lot to sit in a chair and go through your own process of dealing with the things, not only what has happened to you, but what you've done to other people. So it's yeah, as long as we get what happened to us, it's all good. But start talking about what you did to other people. Start
Mm.
talking about what you did to yourself. Start talking about the things that you saw other people do that was unjust and you didn't do anything about it. It's not easy, sis, to take responsibility. As a transformational life coach, I deal with my clients all the time. And one of the things that I help my clients to do is to be accountable. Most of us can't stick to a schedule. Come on now. We late on everything that's attached to something. We late.
Yes.
People, right? Dianetics, right? That's the process of going through this has you to communicate. What's the percentage of people not knowing how to communicate? Come on
Whew.
now. Come on now. You understand? This is the art of, when the enemy wants to destroy something, what does he do? He takes away your ability to communicate.
Mm.
Dianetics gets you to talk. Come on. Woo. I want
Yes.
to talk about that, right? I want to talk about this. And then we start creating things, the trust
Mm-hmm.
factor, it's really that you don't trust the person. 9 times out of 10, you don't trust yourself because of past decisions,
Mm-hmm.
past traumas, right? So Dianetics, not the process of going through this, is going to bring you up to present time to handle life.
Yes.
Many of us says we run from life. We hide under work. We hide through relationships, through our children. We get so busy in life that we don't sit and take care of self. This is real self-love right here.
Yes.
Self-care. It's going to take you deeper. I'm not saying anything else is not real though. I don't want to invalidate other situations. But what I'm saying is this is that thing that's going to get you what I call deep dive.
Mm.
We are surface dwellers most times when it comes to self because we are people of social veneer. We put on those masks and we could show up as whoever and whatever, whenever. But sit in that chair, you're going to find out, you're going to start peeling back the layers. You're going to start pulling back the mask, the things that you know. And here we go. The things that you don't know. And many of
Mm.
us are afraid of the unknown. It's the fear factor. And the Honorable Minister Lewis Farrakhan in study guide number 9 says fear restricts us.
Mm.
So this process will call us to the account of being fearless men and women.
I'm speechless. I just want to drop the mic. That was beautiful. Yes. All praise be to Allah.
Praise be
Being able to address self accountability. Oh, and that's exactly what it is. Like I believe like that's the first step in my mind. You got to start taking accountability with self. Like
absolutely.
how did you get yourself into this? You know, I mean, we can continue to blame mom or dad or you've been hurt, but at the end of the day, I think we create our own reality. So if we allow that to continue to lay dormant in us, then that's our fault.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
But the thing is getting to understand that by going through the process,
Mhm.
right? You gotta you gotta be able, here's the key to healing: being able to look, observing the obvious, see what you see and not what you want to see,
Mm.
and sitting in the chair positions us to see what we see and not what we want to see.
Mm.
We don't create false realities when you're confronting yourself. It's like your mind is showing you, because remember this, Sister Angelica, the mind is made up of pictures. And when that picture is shown to you by one word, there's power in the word. Remember that.
Yes.
One word, that person gonna ask you some words, questions. And that mind is gonna show it to you.
Mm.
And what you gonna do? You're gonna be like, it's like a movie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, oh, I'm in this part of the scripture. I didn't know. I'm playing the part.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Because your own mind has shown you.
Mm.
Now you are positioned to make a powerful choice. To be better, do better. To whom
Mm.
much is given, much is required. You are being given back your own self, which is a righteous Muslim.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
any human being.
Yes. Yes. Ooh. All praise be to Allah. Because we lost ourselves in this journey of life. We've completely lost ourselves. So being able to come back to self, I think is the most rewarding thing anyone could do. Like, oh, it's a beautiful feeling. It's amazing. It's being able to get connected back to nature, to yourself, and to God, to Allah. So yes, all praise be to Allah, Sister Nayyirah. Oh, you bringing in the heat with this. So
Praise
grateful.
God. I'm
Yes,
just trying to help my father, the Honorable Minister Lewis, you know,
yes.
and make us up into help make us up into our own selves, the original man and woman.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
alleviating the pain and the burdens helps us to be more present with all that Allah is given to us, without any reservations or any considerations. You get to just be.
Yeah,
Fire comb, be and it is.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, thank you so much for that. Now, I do have one more question before we end today's show. What advice do you have, Sister Nayyirah, to give a person who is ready to heal their mind, mental health issue, but is having a hard time doing so?
Well, beloved, here's an original quote from Sister Nayyirah. The truth will set you free as long as you're not in love with the lie or the liars. When you are ready, be truthful to yourself. Don't believe the lies that others have told you about you. Don't believe the lies that you have told yourself. Be willing to crush the wickedness of the devil, the whispering of the slinking devil from within, which is I identify as the reactive mind, and so does Dianetics. In page
Yes.
64, it says that if there was ever a devil, it would be called the reactive mind.
Oh.
So you and I and us have to resist the devil and make him flee from you. Be truthful with yourself, meaning show up for you, be willing to confront, face, and get rid of those demons that's keeping you out of luck with the God.
Mm.
You got to keep the goal out front. Your why. Why are you doing this? Because if you start doing it because of this, if you start saying this, that, and the other, and the things that's going to come up, because it's going to show up. The reactive mind is going to create things and pull in people and situations and matters. You might be on your way to go to a session and you get a flat tire. All of this is a part of the process, but your life force, your godhood got to be bigger than the situation. You got to make a new decision of how you want to be present with your own self. And so I decided that I wanted to be a better me. I decided that I wanted to be the new woman with the new mind for the new kingdom. And I know, matter of fact, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said to me once, because of my obedience, I found what he found.
Mm.
And he's asked us to study this. And so, if you want to be a better helper to yourself, to the God, to humanity, this is a route. It's a tool. When you building a house and you want to make that foundation strong, you want to use all accessible tools that's going to get the job done.
Mm.
I don't want to be building a house for 15 years to move in. I need it quick, but the foundation strong and sturdy,
Yes.
right? So we are bringing in the kingdom of God, and he needs those of us that's sane. It's so much insanity on the planet right now. And right now we have an opportunity, an exodus route to get out the traumas of your own mind
Mm.
and no longer be affected by it forever on that level. Now, it's always things that you can handle, but get to the basic of you. Know your true personality. That's what Dianetics has done for me. I know who I am. I don't have to guess. I'm not living out of the personality that you learn in Dianetics or Valuses. I'm not living out of the personalities of my mother, my father, the lady down the street, the victim of being raped, the victim of doing this and all that. I'm not living out of that no more.
Mm.
I am Sister Nayyirah, means shining, illuminous, bright, and brilliant. Thank Allah. And I'm present that I can be a better mother, a better wife, a better sister, friend, servant, soldier for the God, for humanity. So you got to ask yourself, why? If you want healing, why? See, because healing in this day and time has become a phrase. Everybody talking about healing. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a moment, it's a journey.
Mm.
Are you willing to go on a journey with self? Think over this. So I would encourage anybody that if you desire to go deeper into a process that you are going to get this, listen, Sister Angelica, and take a mental note. You're going to get results,
Mm.
everlasting results. You know, as scripture tells us, everlasting life force. People always come into my presence and they be like, your energy, because I recovered it. So I could go on and on. I'm going to stop with that. But because of being a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad saved my life. What better gift to give to the God but a woman after his own heart? And this technology has helped me to be a woman after his own heart because I don't have interference. And if something shows up, I know exactly what to do and how to handle it to keep moving and persist regardless to whom or what. I belong to Father God.
Mm. Whew. All praise be to Allah, alhamdulillah. That really hit me, making me emotional because, like, that's when you brought up, like, you have to have that why. That why for me is to 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 love myself, to find out who I was, to be a better mother, to be a better person, be a better self. So when I found this technology, I knew that this was it. This is my way out of except for Allah God. But fear from anxiety and being able to handle situations, cuz it's all about the way you react, because there's so many things that we really can't control. So how do you react to it? So this has, even just the little bit that I study and just with auditing, it has really helped me in so many ways. And on top of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught by the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan, I can't stress it enough. Lord, save me. So all praise be to Allah, Sister Nayyirah. Thank you so very much for taking
You.
time out of your day to connect with me and get on my podcast today to discuss this amazing topic, mental healing Dianetics. I would also like to thank my amazing audience and healing tribe for joining us today. I'm sorry. I pray today's episode was informative, valuable, and healing to you all. Also, be sure to give us your feedback, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new episodes on any of your favorite podcast station, Closing the Gap Broadcast Network on Facebook and YouTube, and or on my Facebook and YouTube channel, Healing with Angelica, to help spread healing and light to those that are in need. Also, if you are ready to start your healing journey, I am offering a 1 hour Healing with Angelica discovery call where I help you discover your healing and break down the steps you should take to start your healing journey to become your best self, in which will also include my ebook, Heal Yourself for Free. When you book your call, information to book will be in today's show notes, as well as guest information for today's amazing show with guest Sister Nayyirah Tajika. I love that middle name.
Thank you.
Yes, I love it. I like that. That's different.
That's my original name.
Oh, I love that.
It's
Yes.
Tamika. It means sunshine.
That sounds like it too. Like it just made me all bright.
Yes.
Tajika. Yes, Muhammad. Thank you so much. Now, Nayyirah, before we end today's show, you kind of hit us. You kind of hit us really good with the last question. But do you have any closing remarks for today's audience today?
I would just say, love yourself. Just continue to love on you. Understand that you have a purpose in life, and tap into your purpose and just, be present, enjoy every moment of air that you can breathe because that is the gift of life. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, my amazing healing tribe, for joining us today. And we leave you all as we came. Assalamu alaikum, peace, healing, and light.